This is Abe Friedhanser from Awards Watch, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Elham Ehsas about his film Yellow. How are you today, Elham?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Can you tell me about what the specific inspiration for the plot of this film was?
Yes, so Yellow is a film about an Afghan woman who walks into a burqa shop to buy her first ever full body veil in Afghanistan. And it stems from the reality of the situation in my country, where since the fall of Kabul and since the new government, the Taliban, came into power, women haven't had access to an education after the sixth grade. They can't work in NGOs, gyms. Parks are closed for them. Um, Beauty salons are closed. And it's just there's 20 million Afghan women who are second class citizens now. And that's what the film is about. And that's where the inspiration came from. I wanted to write and I wanted to make something about what's happening in that country, in my home.
And where did you film?
So we shot between Afghanistan and London. So the interiors were in London and the exteriors were actually Afghanistan, post-Taliban Afghanistan. We shot that in Kabul. It was shot by my friend Kareem Shah, who's an amazing cinematographer and a good friend.
And costumes are also pretty impressive because you have to go into the intricacies of what's going to fit well, what's not going to fit well. How did that process work?
Well, it's interesting because I was all so the thing that she buys, this blue veil that she buys, which is a character in the film, is called a chadari, which is synonymous with Afghanistan. It's almost an iconic image. No other country has this form of veil, and I've always been fascinated with it. Even growing up in Afghanistan myself, I'd remember just watching women walk by in these veils and these shrouds of blue, and I'd always wanted to do something about it. So for this film, I ordered like 20 of those from Afghanistan, um, and the story kind of fell into my lap when I was watching a Taliban spokesperson speaking about this new rule where they're going to pass a decree that all women now had to wear this blue veil, this chadari. And it made me realize there are women out there who've never worn one before in the last 20 years, or grew up uh, that they didn't need to, but now they have to. So I wonder what that would be. And that's when the inception of the movie came out.
There's also a nice incorporation of music in there, which I know is something that also is not allowed.
That's right. So the music in there is actually an instrument called the rabab. It's the national instrument of Afghanistan. Is this beautiful stringed instrument, and that's another thing that's the Taliban have banned. Any form of music isn't it's not allowed. And I remember I was in Afghanistan about 6 months ago, and I'd be in the taxi, and they'd play a tape or a radio with songs, and then as soon as they approached the checkpoints. The city is dotted along with different Taliban checkpoints. The radio will be turned off. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of this people living and trying to make a life around these rules and these things that just aren't, I don't know, natural, I guess.
Who do you think needs to see this film most?
I think I made the film to put Afghan women back on the spectrum of the news because I feel like the Afghan women have been forgotten by mainstream Western media. And it's the West that has the power to invoke change in Taliban's policy because the Taliban are desperate to be recognized as a government. And that can be a bargaining chip used by the UN or the states or other Western global powers to try and bargain a deal where women are given back their rights in exchange for being recognized as a government. And I think it's the West, especially those who are powerful, who have power, who need to see this film. And if anyone's at the UN who's watching this who wants to screen it, please get in touch because I do feel that it's a message that needs to be told and people need to see it.
Have you received any surprising reactions from those who have seen the film?
Oh, I mean, it's been incredible. I get messages every day from people who've seen the film and they've just been touched by it. It's actually, well, we've just put it on YouTube for a while. It'll be on there until the 23rd of January. And reading the comments is just, it's just a power of cinema, isn't it? You get to learn that what I brought together with my team, this little thing that we made in this little room has gone out into the world and has touched thousands of hearts and resonates with thousands of people. And that's something that I'm forever grateful for, both in cinema and also in people. Do you know what I mean? And seeing this film and recognizing it and trying to make a difference.
You're on the Oscar shortlist for Best Live Action Short, which is great. And you're in good company with another film, Last Song from Kabul, that also deals with similar films. Have you had a chance to see that film?
I actually haven't seen it. I wonder if I can find a link somewhere. But I feel like the Oscars and the BAFTAs are kind of thermometers of the times we live in. And the fact that there are these stories, these Afghan stories that are being recognized by the Academy shows that there are stories that needs to be heard. There are people that needs to be seen. And I'm very grateful to the Academy for recognizing that and for shortlisting us to the 96th Academy Award. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm truly grateful to all the voters and the Academy. So thank you for that.
I wish you plenty of luck, and I hope it means a lot more people see it. Thank you so much, Elham.
For having me, sir. Thank you.